The story begins with Red, who's out delivering a birthday cake. He's in such a rush that he runs straight into a spider web and falls. But somehow, thanks to pure panic, he manages to save the cake. He crashes through bushes, branches, and pretty much every plant in his way. But eventually, he reaches the house where he's supposed to deliver it. The owner opens the door and says, "You're late." But Red fires back, "Nope, you said noon." And it's exactly noon. He shows him the cake, and a squirrel jumps out of it. The owner gets mad and says, "First you show up late, and now you ruin the cake? You're paying for this." Hearing that, Red finally snaps. He smashes the cake right into the guy's face, and even mocks him a little. But as Red turns to leave, he slips and falls right on top of an egg lying nearby. The egg cracks open, and the little baby bird inside takes one look at Red and instantly thinks Red is his dad. Yeah, newborn birds treat the first thing they see as their parent. Lucky Red. Red is known as the angry bird of the island. Everyone makes fun of his huge eyebrows and calls them eye mustaches, which only makes him angrier. Because of his constant fights, no one really likes him. That's why he built his house far away from everyone, right beside the ocean. The next day, Red is called to court. The father of the cracked egg has filed a complaint, saying that because of Red, his baby saw him first instead of its real parents, and now the chick thinks Red is its dad. Red insists, "That's not true. This baby has already forgotten me." But right then, the baby calls him Papa, leaving everyone speechless. The judge, along with everyone else, starts mocking Red for his anger issues. The judge begins lecturing him, and of course that makes Red lose his cool even more. He exposes the judge's hypocrisy. The judge gets furious, and finally he gives Red the harshest punishment on the island: anger management classes. Red arrives at the center, and the moment he sees the giant smiling statue, he gets so irritated that he knocks it down, then awkwardly puts it back up. Inside, Matilda welcomes him and introduces him to the others, all birds who are also there because of court orders. There's Chuck, who's insanely fast, Bomb, who literally explodes whenever he gets angry, and Terrence, who's gigantic, silent, and looks like anger in bird form. Red tries to leave, but Matilda forces him to sit and join the session. She teaches them how yoga helps control anger. Everyone tries, and Bomb immediately explodes. As class ends, everyone starts heading home. Chuck invites Red to walk with him, but Red refuses. He doesn't want any friends. Red returns to his house feeling lonely. His parents were gone when he was just a kid, and he grew up isolated from everyone. He never had friends, probably because of his anger, and probably because no one ever tried to understand him. The next day, the group arrives at Matilda's class again, but notice something strange. All the birds on the island are running toward the beach, so they rush there too. A giant ship is approaching the island, and it crashes right into Red's house, completely destroying it. Two green pigs walk out of the ship. The leader introduces himself as Captain Leonard, and the other as his assistant Ross. Leonard tells everyone, "We're from Piggy Island. We've traveled around the whole world making friends everywhere, and now we're here to be friends with you." The pigs offer friendship to everyone on the island, but Red isn't buying any of it, not after they destroyed his house. Still, the judge accepts the pigs' friend request, and even throws a big party to welcome them. Everyone's dancing, cheering, celebrating, except Red, who just doesn't trust them. During the party, Leonard shows them a gift. It's a giant slingshot. He says, "You guys must get tired carrying stuff around, so we brought this. Now you can launch anything anywhere with zero effort." To demonstrate it, he asks for a volunteer. Every bird excitedly raises a wing, except Red. So Leonard purposely picks Red, because his plan is to launch him far away from the party. And that's exactly what happens. Red is shot high into the air and crashes down all the way at the beach, right next to the pig's giant ship. Chuck and Bomb run after him. They decide to take a closer look and sneak inside the ship. What they find shocks them. The pigs are way more advanced and tech smart than they pretend to be. Meanwhile, Bomb is messing around, bouncing everywhere, and accidentally falls straight into a hidden chamber packed with pigs. Hundreds of them. Chuck and Red freeze. This is the proof Red needed. The pigs aren't just suspicious, they're hiding an entire army. Red drags Chuck and Bomb back to the party and announces, "Leonard lied. They're not just two pigs, there are 200 of them. This isn't friendship, this is an invasion. They're very shy and innocent. I didn't introduce them earlier because I wanted to make sure you were good birds." And unbelievably, everyone believes him. But no one believes Red. The birds return to dancing with the pigs, while Red walks away, frustrated and alone. Soon the pigs completely win over the whole island, and then they begin taking control. The next day at Matilda's class, everyone is peacefully painting when the pigs show up again. Loud, distracting, fooling around. Red shows them his painting, and they laugh at him. Suddenly, another ship full of pigs arrives. Red warns everyone again, but no one listens. Realizing the island won't listen to him, Red decides he needs help, and one name comes to mind: Mighty Eagle. Red goes to Chuck and Bomb and convinces them that they need to find Mighty Eagle before the pigs make their next move. The three set off on a tough journey, climbing cliffs, crossing forests, till finally they reach a tall mountain. There's a lake and a giant nest, but it's empty. While Chuck and Bomb play around in the water, Red hears footsteps. The three hide. Out walks Mighty Eagle himself, big, loud, and surprisingly out of shape. He steps force right up to the lake and pees in it. Chuck and Bomb nearly pass out because they drank that water. Mighty Eagle hears noise and pulls them inside his cave. He shows them his posters, trophies, and basically talks about how amazing he thinks he is. He dances, sings, celebrates himself until Red mutters, "Okay, maybe he's a little crazy, but he has to help us." Meanwhile, back on the island, the pigs are tightening their control. When Mighty Eagle looks through his telescope at an old bird lady, Red steps up to take a look too, and what he sees freezes him. The pigs are stealing the bird's eggs and planting bombs across the island. Seeing the pigs stealing the eggs and planting bombs across the island, Red panics and begs Mighty Eagle to come with them. "We need you, please help us." But Mighty Eagle refuses. He tells them he's retired. His hero days are over. He slowly walks back toward his cave. Red stops him and says, "You were my hero. My whole life I believed that as long as you were here, nothing bad could ever happen to us. But today, when we're in real danger, you're walking away. Do you know how terrifying that is?" Red looks straight at him and adds, "You're the only bird who can fly, and you're the one who's afraid to fly. We were wrong about you. You're no hero." Angry and disappointed, Red turns away and heads back with Chuck and Bomb toward the island. Meanwhile, the pigs distract the birds with another huge party. Loud music, dancing, fun, while secretly loading all the eggs into their ship. Chuck runs into the party screaming, "Stop the music! They're stealing the eggs!" But no one listens. Red and Bomb try to block the pigs from taking the eggs, but they're outnumbered, and the pigs escape with everything. As they leave Bird Island, they detonate the bombs they planted, and the whole island blows up. The next morning, the birds stand in ruins, heartbroken. The judge walks up to Red and apologizes. "You warned us again and again, but we didn't listen," and make him their leader. Red says, "We're getting our eggs back." The birds nervously ask, "But how?" Chuck jumps in. "Ladies, get ready. We'll just make more eggs." Red rolls his eyes and says, "No, we're birds. We're descendants of dinosaurs. Anger runs in our veins." Those words light a fire in everyone. The entire island rises with energy, ready for war. They gather anything that can float and build a giant boat. They load the slingshot, their weapons, and head toward Piggy Island. On Piggy Island, the pigs are celebrating. King Leonard announces, "2 days from now, we feast. A royal banquet with a special omelet for everyone." Meanwhile, the birds arrive at Piggy Island. The pig's castle is far away and almost unreachable, but Red says confidently, "We fly." Using the slingshot, they launch themselves toward the castle. Matilda goes first and blasts an entire area on impact. One by one, the birds follow. Buildings crumble, chaos rises. Leonard sees his city being destroyed and shouts, "Fine, then we eat the eggs now. Bring them." Red is launched straight into the castle, followed by Bomb and Chuck. Back on Eagle Mountain, Mighty Eagle watches all of this from afar. Seeing the birds fight courageously, something wakes up inside him, the hero he used to be. He spreads his wings and tries to fly again. Leonard orders his pig army to attack. Explosions start everywhere. Terrence tries using the slingshot too, but he's so heavy he breaks it. Inside the castle, Red, Chuck, and Bomb search for the eggs. They spot a room guarded heavily. A sign on the door reads, "No eggs here," which of course means the eggs are definitely inside. Chuck distracts the guards and the others sneak into the room, only to find the eggs loaded in a giant net, being carried toward a huge boiling pot. Red jumps onto the net and Chuck and Bomb follow. Leonard sees Red hanging from the eggs and furiously commands his pigs to boil him too. Just as Red is about to fall into the boiling water, he fights off the pigs, grabs the remote, and stops the trap. Suddenly, Mighty Eagle swoops in, grabs Red, Chuck, and Bomb along with the eggs, and lifts them into the air. But Leonard leaps and grabs Red's leg, and then more pigs grab Leonard, and more pigs grab those pigs. Soon there's a long, dangling chain of pigs hanging dangerously in the air. At that moment, one single egg slips out of the net and begins falling toward the ground. Without hesitating, Red lets go and dives straight down after it. All the pigs come crashing down, and the giant pot of boiling water also tips over. Red and Leonard swing from the chandelier, trying not to fall. Meanwhile, outside the castle, the piggy force launches a full attack on Mighty Eagle. Bomb suddenly gets an idea. He runs straight into their path, sits down, and tries really hard to make himself angry so he can explode. Nothing happens. But the moment he thinks about pigs, boom, he explodes with full power, taking down the entire piggy force with him. The blast sends Bomb flying all the way back to the mountain where all the birds are gathered. Inside the castle, the chandelier snaps and crashes through the floor, falling deep into the basement, right where hundreds of bombs are stored. Red reaches for the falling egg, but Leonard grabs it first and lights a candle, ready to cook it into an omelet. Red burns with anger, but this time he controls it. Then he notices the giant boiling pot hanging right above Leonard, ready to fall any second. Red keeps Leonard distracted with conversation, stalling him until the pot finally loosens. Right when it's about to fall, Red kicks a crate away and sends Leonard tumbling down toward the basement full of bombs. The candle from Leonard's hand drops onto the explosives. Red grabs the egg and climbs up the stone pillar of the broken chandelier. The boiling pot crashes, and in the next instant, boom, a chain reaction erupts. All the bombs explode, and Piggy Island is completely destroyed. Mighty Eagle swoops out of the smoke cloud, carrying all the eggs safely back to the birds. Everyone cheers. They're reunited and relieved, but one couple doesn't see their egg and fears the worst. The crowd grows silent and heartbroken until Red appears from behind the cliff, covered in dust but alive, holding the cracked egg. The egg breaks open, and 3 baby birds pop out unharmed. Chuck and Bomb rush to Red, hugging him in pure joy. Red gently hands the babies to their parents, who burst into tears of happiness. Mighty Eagle wraps Red, Chuck and Bomb in a big proud hug. Back on Bird Island, the birds build a brand new house right in the center of town, just for Red. For the first time, he's not living alone. He's surrounded by friends, by family, by everyone who now sees him as the bird who saved them all. The baby birds gather around Red and sing for him, and Red, Chuck, and Bomb start their new life together as true heroes of the island. If this journey hit you even a little, smash that like button, drop a comment, and make sure you're subscribed.